32 new services, new accounts added to the authority. That still remains well below our average of about 500. In addition to that, today the Department of Commerce states that the building rate in the entire country remains 4% below the average. I have nothing under miscellaneous, gentlemen.
Action on the bids.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the purchase of Resilient Joint Restraint System, also known as Megalugs, the grand total bid submitted was by LB Water at $18,046.80. However, they do not offer any discount with their payment terms. National Road Utility Supply offers a discount of 1% within 15 days. Therefore, no bidder is, National Road Utility with a grand total bid of $18,840.33. It is recommended that award be made to National Road Utility.
So moved.
Yes, it's just a 47 cents difference.
All in favor say aye. Opposed no. The ayes have it. So ordered.
Gentlemen, for the purchase of valves and curve boxes, the apparent low bidder is Bingham Taylor with a total bid of $62,098.85. It's recommended that this contract be awarded to Bingham Taylor.
Second. All in favor say aye. Opposed no. The ayes have it. So ordered.
I'd like to point out to you, gentlemen, that the cost of these products is on by 5 to 10%. Gentlemen, for the purchase of Resilient seated gate valves, we received 6 bids. Pipelines Incorporated submitted grand total bid of $111,148.19, which is much lower than the 5 other bids were submitted. However, they made a math error in their submission. They reported a price of $8,061.24 when the actual cost of the one item should have been $80,612.40. They also do include a 1% discount when paid in 10 days. They would have been the low bidder by a very large margin. Pipeline submitted a letter to us saying they explained their math error, and they asked us to consider the award of the contract based on the unit prices, but not all of their unit prices, which was Ferguson Waterworks. And they said if we cannot consider this, they would respectfully withdraw their bid. Mr. Kolick reports that when you read the proposal, we either have to award the contract on the grand total when we accept a bid or have it withdrawn for a valid reason. However, Mr. Kolick is recommending that we reject all the bids this month and rebid them next month, because there's a good chance that the pipelines again would be the low bidder because they would correct their error.
I agree.
Good.
Thank you, Mr. Baxter. Second, please.
Second.
Move in second. All in favor say aye. Opposed no. The ayes have it. So ordered.
Gentlemen, the final bid received this month is for the collection of garbage and disposal of garbage at all the authority locations. We received 4 bids. The apparent low bidder is Allied Waste Services with a total bid of $14,704.28 for a 2-year contract. It's recommended that this award be made to Allied Waste Services.
So moved.
Second.
Move in second. All in favor say aye. Opposed no. The ayes have it. So ordered.
Nothing under miscellaneous, Mr. Chairman.
Did I see in this collection and disposal of rubbish that we did not get any benefit on a 2-year contract? Their second year is higher than one?
We have
Except for waste management, it looks like it's double.
Authorization of the expenditures.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For our 2011 membership dues in PMAA, we received the invoice in the amount of $2,400. This is a very good organization. The authority has participated in a long time.
So moved.
Second.
Move in second. All in favor say aye. Opposed no. The ayes have it. So ordered.
Thank you, gentlemen. Gentlemen, these vehicle purchases and replacements are budgetary items. For the service department, it's recommended that 2 trucks be replaced, truck 47 and 44. They're both standard serviceman type vehicles. For the distribution department, it's recommended that 3 dump trucks be replaced, trucks number 5, 43, and 58. Both of them are in fair to poor condition and are in need of replacement. And it's also proposed to replace two Foreman type trucks. Number 38 is a 2005 model with over 58,000 miles, and number 49 is a 2004 model with over 62,000 miles. The new vehicles would be assigned to the two foremen, and their older vehicles would be used for flushing and hydrant painting by the summer crews. Truck number 36 is a 2002 model with over 40,000 miles. This is a typical vehicle with an air compressor built and attached to it, and it has a specialized utility body. And lastly, for distribution, truck number 64 is a 2007 model year with over 41,000, and it is in fair condition. It will be replaced with a four-wheel drive. And lastly, for the water treatment plant, it's recommended that trucks number 2 and 40 be replaced. They're both 2001 vehicles. One vehicle has 52,000 and 40 has over 27,000 miles. They will be replaced with four-wheel drive vehicles. The proposed bidding schedule would be as follows, gentlemen. In February, they would bid 3 trucks, the dump trucks, number 5, 43, and 58, at an estimated cost of $190,000. For the March bidding, we would replace the 2 trucks in service, number 44 and 47, at an estimated cost of $48,000. For the water treatment plant, also in March, we would bid number 2 and 40, at estimated cost of $40,000. Keep in mind, please, that this includes trade-in on all those vehicles. And for the foreman truck, which does not include trade-in, number 38 and 40, $36,000 in April. And lastly, possibly September or October, number 36 with the built-in air compressor for distribution, and number 64 for distribution at $30,000. For a grand total budgetary item of $408,000. Please, sir, if you approve.
Need a motion?
Yeah, I make a
Second.
Second.
Move the second, all in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, so moved.
Thank you. Mr. Dinkle.
Thank you very much. On December 24th, 2010, we encountered a serious main break in a creek beneath the bridge abutment along Jacks Run Road. It was not possible to perform permanent repairs, and I therefore instructed our personnel to cut and cap the main line on both sides of the bridge so that service could be restored to the local residences. Upon further investigation, it was determined that the 12-inch main had a longitudinal split that would require a significant repair effort. Subsequent to the Jacks Run Road leak, an additional leak occurred near York Drive, which once again curtailed water service to a large number of consumers. In discussing this project with Mr. Kraus, he concurred in the urgency for restoration of this redundant feed line. Work of this nature beneath a creek and tunneling under a bridge wing wall is outside of the scope of the normal activities performed by our utility personnel. Mr. Cross provided an emergency certification to retain Golden Triangle, a contractor which is capable, experienced, and properly equipped to perform these remedial repairs. In addition, right-of-way had to be procured, and an authorization by Ross Township's engineer was required. Additionally, Pennsylvania DEP's Division of Dams and Encroachment had to be notified. The project is nearing completion and will require both hydrostatic testing along with a bacteriological test. Skater replacement. As you are aware, all processes at the treatment plant and remote facilities are controlled by a supervisory control and data acquisition system. Through several upgrades to the computers have been implemented. However, our systems operates through distributed control, which utilizes programmable logic controllers at every facility. These controllers, unfortunately, are no longer supported, and as a result, we could be subject to a failure and the inability for the system to communicate data. We have been nursing the system along, knowing full well it will be replaced by the SCADA system, which will be required for the new treatment plant. I must, however, suggest a change in direction because of the new urgency related to the obsolescence which we have encountered in our current equipment. I therefore respectfully request that the board grant permission for Banks and Engineers to accelerate the design of the new SCADA system so that the current system can be replaced in a timely fashion, and that the new system will interface with the at the appropriate time.
So moved.
Second. Moving second, all in favor, say
Aye.
aye. Opposed, no, the ayes have it, so.
Thank you very much. Rate adjustment for excavation contractors. I've discussed the current rate structure with both of our excavation contractors, Elrose Development Company and RCC Incorporated. Both contractors indicated that they feel a rate adjustment is in order given the price of diesel fuel and increased overhead. With your concurrence, I would like to propose 3% increase across the board for both contractors. Elrose Development's rate would be $59.80 and RCC would be $58.71. Historically, Elrose Development has been with us in excess of 50 years and RCC about 6 years. RCC receives additional compensation for providing dump site availability.
Gentlemen, we just reviewed their rates in July of 2010, 6 months ago, and provided them a 3.6 increase at that time. Just so you're aware of that.
So moved.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, no, the ayes have it, so.
Thank you. Senator Jane Orey Annual Senior Expo. For a number of years, we participated in Senator Orey's Senior Expo. We have once again been invited to participate, and this is an excellent opportunity to provide water conservation materials as well as consumer confidence reports mandated by our operations permit. The Senior Expo is scheduled for Friday, May 13th at the Allegheny County Community College branch in McCandless Township. A table registration fee of $10 is charged and it is requested that a door prize be provided. I respectfully request that permission be granted for the authority to once again participate in the Senior Citizens Expo.
So moved.
Second.
Can't beat that price,
Moving
$10.
second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, no, the ayes have it, so.
DEP Annual Watershed Celebration. As you're aware, for the past 9 years, we have been cooperating with Pennsylvania DEP with regards to what has become an annual cruise on the various watersheds. This is a significant benefit to us at this time with our pending applications for water allocation and plant construction. We also seize upon the opportunity to provide training and water conservation materials as required by our operating permit to the hundreds of people who are present each year. Last year, the board contributed $1,000 towards this venture. Should you concur, I feel that a contribution in kind would be appropriate. Checks can be made payable to Stream Restoration. If you have any questions on this issue, please contact me, and after you have had an opportunity to review this issue, please provide guidance.
So moved.
Second. Moving second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, no, the ayes have it, so.
Water Users Advisory Committee, the Ohio River Valley Water Sanitation Commission. The Water Users Committee of Orsanco will be meeting on February 8th and February 9th, 2011. This meeting will be held in conjunction with the commission meeting. The meeting will be convened at the Hyatt Regency in downtown Cincinnati, Ohio. I respectfully request permission for Jay Everett and myself to participate on behalf of our authority at this meeting. With your concurrence, I will make the proper arrangements.
So moved.
Second. Moving second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed,
Aye.
no, the ayes have it, so.
Enhanced video security system. At the last board meeting, I indicated to you concerns which I have with regard to the limited security surveillance at the authority's administration building. I requested a proposal from Secure Technical Solutions, the vendor who installed and maintains our current video security system. This system would include a 16-inch channel digital video recorder along with 4 indoor-outdoor ultra-high resolution cameras. It also would include all hardware installation, integration, and training. The proposal by Secure Technical Solutions would be $3,975. I've discussed this proposal with Mrs. Bruno, and she has at least 3 areas where she would suggest the installation of additional security cameras. These cameras could be installed at any time in the future because there would be 12 open channels remaining.
Where do we have them now, Joe?
We have none here, that's the problem. We have Sonatrol security on all doors, etc. However, if someone were to break in,
No
they,
video cam.
that's right, that they could alert the authorities right away, and the police could come. But if they got out of here, you would have no idea who it was.
Would they include inside cameras?
Pardon me?
Include inside cameras?
And that's the ones that Sharon would like to include, would be inside. The 4 that I have in mind would be outdoor on each corner where it would get 360.
For this building.
For this building.
Your works down there is 24 hours, 7 days a week,
That's
right,
correct.
man?
Yes.
Okay.
We just have one video camera now in the lobby that pans the front desk. And she has an alarm under the desk that sounds in Mr. Daniel's office, and we have the recorder in the service office as well, which keeps 30 days recording. But that's not adequate in today's world. It just isn't.
I'd like to make a motion on that enhanced video security system.
Second. Moved and second.
Do we have a second?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those no, the ayes have it, so.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Application fee, PA DEP training. We have made an application to Pennsylvania DEP to certify the training courses which Mr. Everett will be developing. Once certified, these training courses will provide continuing education units for our employees as well, and is likely that it could be extended to the consulting engineer and others.
So moved.
Second. Move the second, all in favor say aye. Those no, the ayes have it, so.
And by the way, that certification fee was not very much, it was only $90. Consumer confidence report. As you're aware, the authority has an annual responsibility based upon federal mandate to publish the Consumer Confidence Report, CCR. Since the report has been mandated, Conestoga Rovers Associates has successfully developed and coordinated this project. They have proposed a fee schedule of $4,400. This price has not increased since 2006. They have proposed a price of $9,437 for publishing the CCR and the Trib Total Media Penny Saver. I respectfully request that permission be granted to have Conestoga Rovers once again develop the Consumer Confidence Report.
So moved.
Second. Move the second. All
Can
in
I ask a question on that?
Sure.
What all does this enhance, this report?
It doesn't enhance anything. It's a federally mandated report that shows what
So
our
it's a
law-
must then?
Yes, we have no choice. We have to publish it
Okay.
one way or another.
Okay. Very good, thank you.
Oh,
Reimbursement of continuing education, authority electrician. In keeping with the directive of the board, please be advised that Mr. Brian Short has successfully completed the fall semester at Point Park University. Mr. Short is to be commended for achieving straight A's. Mr. Short's tuition and university fee total was $4,424. The board's directive was for reimbursement at a rate of 50% upon successful course completion with a minimum of the C average. I respectfully request your concurrence for the reimbursement of Mr. Short.
So moved.
Second.
move the second, all in favor say aye. Those no, the ayes have it, so.
A couple other little things I have here just for information. One, I'll speak to when Sharon brings this other issue up. I want to fill you in on the status of the Keating tank. Please be advised that as previously discussed, the Keating tank is now offline and drained for the winter. Since the Bellevue Booster Station VFD project came online, the tank has remained totally full with no circulation. This led to a biological problem which necessitated the shutdown. Interesting to note, we have received no low-pressure complaints from this change. As you were previously advised, the authority has been mandated based upon federal regulations to provide public notice relative to the lead action level. We were required to provide public notice to each bill paying account, followed by a press release and the educational programs for school administrators, hospital administrators, and various physicians. Most of this has been accomplished. I am pleased to report that the few samples that we found out of compliance, have been resampled, and are now below the 15 parts per billion action level. And with some sample results that we received just this morning, it's very detectable. We're currently evaluating the potential to return to this form of operation at the Spray or Franklin Park booster station. This is beyond the areas of the system which are served by lead service lines. This should benefit the consecutive systems in their effort to control trihalomethanes. Ohio Township Police Mutual Aid Agreement. At a prior meeting, the board concurred in providing dock space for the recently acquired Ohio Township Police Rescue Boat. Yesterday I had a meeting with Chief Norbert Miklos to discuss preliminary details. I indicated to Chief Miklos that we would require certificates of insurance along with an agreement to be developed by their solicitor. Any modifications to secure the boat at our dock will be paid for by Ohio Township. We will be installing a dedicated security camera for this boat. The boat is currently housed at the Ohio Township Police Garage, and they are looking to launch the boat as soon as practical. And that will do it from me, Mr. Chairman. This one. Yeah. As you may have read in the Environmental Protection Agency and the Department of Health and Human Services are in the throes of reevaluating their position on fluoridation. The river currently has a natural content of 0.3 milligrams per liter, and we augment this value to deliver a finished value of 1.0 milligrams per liter. Should we be directed by EPA and Health and Human Services to reduce this value, our new feed rate would be 0.7 milligrams per liter. Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. We had quite a few calls when those fluoride articles were on the internet and in the newspaper, but it was not long, maybe a couple of days.
I do have one other article here for information. I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but
I'll kill you if you do.
we've talked on many occasions about personal care products, etc., being discharged into the river. Well, there's a study that was recently completed, the study of the pills' contribution to estrogen in drinking water finds wastewater treatment provides adequate protection against any contamination of this nature. So if you're interested, I'll be glad to send copies of this to you.
Thank you, Joe.
You all done?
I'm sorry.
You all done?
I am, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
You're on.
Thank you, sir. Gentlemen, in accordance with our adopted hiring practice, 2 entry-level positions were recently filled. These positions were available as two persons bid from the water treatment plant to the distribution plant, to the distribution department. At the request of the plant manager, these positions needed to be filled as quickly as possible to begin the training. As policy dictates, the straw poll was conducted of the board after the positions were offered. The chairman, the vice chair, and secretary were contacted. Both candidates came highly recommended and had experience and attributes that were definitely transferable to the water industry. Mr. Robert Hyman joined the authority staff January 3rd, and Mr. Ron Paddock Jr. started on January 10th, both in the position of maintenance man, relief operator, and assistant operator. I respectfully request formal board approval.
Oh, I got a couple of questions I wish to ask you.
Yes, sir.
How comes I knew nothing about this? I wasn't contacted in any way, shape, or form, and you're telling me you got 3 votes. How did these gentlemen vote without me there? And that bothers me immensely.
The policy that was adopted, Jay, was that after the interviews were conducted, that I contact the board. I had 3 approvals on the position.
Why wouldn't you go for the whole board, though?
I emailed Dennis. I didn't have a response from him.
Well, I'll tell you why, I didn't respond. You said you had 3 votes. You just told me that one person was already started on January 3rd. You contacted me on January 7th. That's like shutting the gate after the horse is gone. And I never understood the hiring policy to mean you could pick somebody, either Joe or Sharon, could pick and choose who the 3 people are that get the, you contact. I understood the policy to be that the people would come to this board for approval. And in talking to all my fellow board members, and I discussed this at a meeting either October, November, or December. When you're the 6th person on a 9-member board who's contracted in a straw poll, your 6th vote doesn't make much difference. When you're the 4th person on a 5-member board conducted on a straw poll, it doesn't make much difference, particularly when the person's already on the payroll, because I'm never going to vote to take away a person's salary that was already earned. This is bad policy for the board, and when this vote, and I'm going to vote to approve these 2 people, but when that motion carries, as I assume it will, I'm going to move that the policy be very precise, that no one be placed on our payroll until there is a vote taken at a public meeting by the 5 members who have been appointed, and that there's a majority vote. This is a mistaken policy. I never understood that there was going to be a straw poll in any policy that we have. And also, when we're looking at these positions, the claim that there is a sense of urgency defies me. These are 2 of the lowest positions we have in this authority. These people, the positions they were taking, people take vacations, people are sick during the year, and somehow this authority survives. I think we are much better to make sure that all hiring decisions are vested in this board, and we all are talking about it. I don't know what your basis was for approving it. I'm sure you had good ones, but nobody had the opportunity to get my input. I never had the opportunity to solicit the perspective of any of you. And I don't know what the process was. I don't know who was in the interview. I don't know when Joe interviewed the people. I don't know when Sharon interviewed the people. I have a sense, though, that when we met in December, that this plan was already underway, and that we weren't apprised that we were going to be getting a straw poll, or some of you weren't, okay? And I congratulate you on your status of being selected for straw polls. I'm a little disappointed that I'm contacted afterwards, but that's your choice. And
But I wasn't contacted at all.
Jay, I did try to call you, but I didn't leave you a message. I left.
Why won't you leave me a message? I have an answering machine for that.
I just wanted to talk to you in person, sir. I apologize. I'm very sorry, and if I offended you, Dennis, I certainly am sorry. But I'm going to redistribute the policy that was adopted by the board. I believe Joe and I both have the understanding that a straw poll was to be conducted. I believe that was discussed.
What's the value of a straw poll when you don't contact all the board members? I made a motion at some point in the fall, and I withdrew it at the chairman's request because I could just see this coming. I'm going to renew the motion tonight because this is not working.
I think we want to pass practice of Danny's to call off on the straw polls too.
He's dead.
I know, but it is a carryover, I guess, you know.
Well,
No argument.
do you think it's right? You tell me, do
Well,
you think it's right that 2 board members
no.
shouldn't be contacted?
Yeah, well,
Dennis,
yes, we can correct that,
you're
no
right.
problem.
It
Okay.
should be done,
No problem.
and why don't we do it?
That's what I've been suggesting for several months.
Oh,
We thought it was in place the way it was.
it should have been done, but it wasn't over the years.
Fred, I don't believe that's the way the policy was written.
Well, I'm trying to recall what the policy was.
Well,
I
we
mean, I
didn't
know
have
we
a
had a
policy.
distinction between, these were positions that were, the salary was already set under the terms of the contract. So I thought that, my understanding was that the board didn't have to approve the salary, and that the board would, and to fill the vacancies in the position. That was my understanding of it.
My understanding was that the board was not going to get involved in the
Right.
interviews.
Right.
But that all hires were to come to this board for approval at a public meeting. When we were dealing with managerial hires, then this board retained the discretion to be involved in the interviewing process if we felt the position we filled was high enough up on the management chain to require our participation in this selection.
Dennis,
Yeah, I agree with, I agree
over
with that.
30
I think,
years, it never was that they come in front of the board.
But Tom, I don't care, that may be the
And,
way you operate.
well, I mean, I'm not saying it's right.
Tom, we're not
wrong, or
saying that they
indifferent.
come before the board, each individual.
Why not?
Well, why should we? We already have their resumes supposedly and the suggested people.
Right, and they're supposed to get a
I don't have a problem.
clearance. I don't have a problem with it either.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
But, when I come on this board, the people that were on here, that would have been Dick Powell making a
Correct, sir.
decision to
Yes, Mr.
who was
Chairman.
gonna be hired. And, you couldn't beat the setup. I mean, you'd have just been sitting there arguing and it would have stayed on. And it just went down the line all the time on it. But of course, the people that we hired, it amazed me, we did real good on it.
That may very well be the case. I think it is the prerogative of this board. In fact, I feel it's our responsibility to make the final decisions on hire. We can delegate the responsibility for interviewing and evaluating candidates and making recommendations to us, but I think we are better as a board making a decision when we're all in one room.
And if these employees just say we're so valuable and needed, call a special meeting with us. Rather than, how did you get contacted to vote?
I reached Mr. Malone.
By phone.
Yeah, you can do the same thing when you get time.
Well, Dan's gone. This is a new regime,
That's-
Bill.
that's-
Also, you want changes?
It was done through all of them,
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
not just Dan. Dan's gone and so are the rest of them. And that was never changed, and it should have been.
Well, we thought we changed it. Am I correct, Dennis?
Well, I think that's where the confusion comes in. I mean, there's a distinction between administrative employees and people under the terms of the union. And I guess the crux of the matter is, Dennis, is you think if it's a position that has to be filled, that's not a question, I guess, but if it has to be filled, then it's okay to run a straw poll on the board as long as you contact everybody in the
No,
board.
I'm not in favor of straw polls.
Okay.
I'm in favor of a vote, a public meeting by
Okay.
everybody with a quorum.
What, only one thing there, I agree with you on that, but one thing, what if you need them right now?
Well, I think that,
Can't wait for the meeting, is what I'm saying.
my concern is that this sense that there's an emergency was abused in this situation. To hire an assistant, whatever these positions are, I don't think it constitutes an emergency. And I think that we have, and as Jay suggested, we can have a public meeting.
Well, I disagree with you, it wasn't an emergency. How are you set up with operators down there?
We are,
We're in trouble.
I wouldn't say we're in trouble.
Well, we
But
got a
the problem
problem.
is, we had several individuals that bid out of those positions, and it is shift work. Those positions had to be filled. The positions that they bid was for distribution, and distribution was short personnel, so the transfer had to be made there. The problem that we encounter now is we're mandated to have certified operators. These individuals have to be trained and brought up to speed to become certified operators, and unfortunately, DEP is not providing certification tests at this time. So we have some individuals that are just going to plod along. Now, we are able to utilize these individuals because of a procedure that I implemented called standard operating procedures, as once again mandated by DEP. If you have individuals that are on staff that aren't certified, you can cover them for a prescribed amount of time with the standard operating procedures, and that's what we're doing at this time. And that's where the basic urgency came in, to cover the shift work employees that were moving out.
And with that urgency,
Let me go one step further. And by contract, there's a prescribed amount of time for transferring these employees when they bid the job.
Yes, we have contractual limitations, and in the time when the successful bidder needs to be notified, when the successful bidder has to be transferred in a certain number of days. That are all contractual obligations that have been in place for over 30 years.
My response is, I still think this whole thing was not done in the best interest of the board. And I think, as Jay's suggestion, we can have another public meeting in that sense.
Why don't we write up the letter?
I have the motion ready to go after we have these people.
You have one?
I have a motion ready, I'm ready to make as soon as we vote on these hires.
Oh, you give us a copy of it.
I can read it.
That's the rest of the board.
It's shorter than Joe's reports.
Thank God. Give us a copy, we'll vote on it on the next meeting.
I'll make the motion tonight, Mr. Chairman. I made the motion before, you asked me to withdraw it. I thought there was an understanding of no straw polls. In my sense, that understanding was
But I
viewed.
would like to read it.
He's gonna read it too.
Well, let me go back. Do we have a motion on the floor to hire?
No.
No motion was made?
No.
Okay, then a motion be in order then.
I move that all new hires by the authority must receive board approval at a public meeting before being placed on the payroll. That's my motion.
Second.
Second. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So ordered.
The employees, right?
I'm sorry, sir,
We have to go with the employees now.
approve that they,
Yes.
if you would be so kind.
Well, before you, if you don't mind,
I do.
do you think we need to clarify the written policy then, Dennis? I mean, I don't remember exactly what it says, but.
Well,
if you
this
think-
is the policy now.
What was that motion?
With this motion, yes.
Okay, and so that motion would be applicable to administrative, whatever.
Right.
Right, okay,
We'll have to add that to the policy that you prepared, Fred, and
okay. I just want to be sure.
re-adopt that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, on the two employees hired, I make that motion to be paid already.
Yeah.
Retained, yes. I understand it. Okay, I hope you do what I just said, because I don't.
Well, it's done.
Okay, they need a second, huh?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed no, the ayes have it, so.
No, this Bingo Road.
So that's, was the
That was
gentleman
Dave.
who was here, yes.
So you've already taken care of that.
That's okay.
I believe, Joe, you have something you wanted to add to this American Water Works. The annual conference will be in Washington DC, June 12th through the 16th. If anyone is interested in attending, please contact Becky.
In addition to that, the state conference will be held in Penn State, in Hershey this year in April. If anyone is interested, we can certainly make it.
Where is that one, Joe?
Hershey,
No, I'm saying here, on this.
it's not there.
He was just adding that to
I
the
just got
line.
notification on it yesterday, so I'm
Well, hell, you should have had it on here then.
You're welcome to that.
Get it on.
superimpose it on there.
Thank you, Joe. Gentlemen, there's a PMAA board member training at the Four Points Sheraton, Thursday, March 3rd, at 910 Sheraton Drive, Morris, PA. If anyone's interested, please contact Mrs. Stefano. There was an article in the Butler Eagle, gentlemen, on Tuesday, January 11th regarding the Evans City agreement with Pennsylvania American. Apparently, their council stopped the agreement from being returned to Pennsylvania American, and they're going to fight DEP on taking their water treatment plant back. Mr. Baxter, I understand you spoke to Mr. Loth today.
I did.
Could you share that with us, please?
Yeah, I mean, this is the issue over which we have the Commonwealth Court appeal pending, over the PUC granting the right for the special rate. But ancillary to that, apparently, Evans City Borough has decided to challenge DEP's opinion regarding whether their plant is operable, and they're gonna take on that challenge. So if in fact they can retain and maintain their plant, then they won't enter into an agreement with Pennsylvania American. So that's where that stands. I talked to the lawyer, Phil Lowe, he told me that they expect to meet in February with DEP.
Thank you, Fred. Gentlemen, I have a list of uncollectible accounts for the period of September 16th through October 15th in the amount of $5,592.75. With your permission, I'll turn this over to the collection agency.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor say aye. Opposed no, the ayes have it, so.
Allegheny League of Municipalities 7th Spring Conference will be held April 7th through April 10th. Anyone interested in attending, please contact Mrs. DeStefano. She will get you registered. Brief report on our geographic information system project. It's moving along very well. Mr. Dinkle and I created a committee of 4 people here at the authority who've been investigating implementing this. They've been gathering prices and information on software packages. They've talked to 2 different vendors. They've met with the individuals from Environmental Systems Research Institute, short-named ESRI. It's better known as the Cadillac and GIS. And they've also met with individuals from Autodesk. And there's a large disparity in price here, gentlemen. This is a preliminary report. There will be some purchases involved, but we're not ready for that yet. But the project is going very well. Does anyone have any questions about that? Gentlemen, with your permission, I'd like to call an executive session to discuss a legal matter and a personnel issue. Just the board, Mr. Baxter, please, Mr. Dingle. I can sit in my office, but just watch, okay?
April 19 to 21.
April 19th to 21.
Yes.
Okay. And that's at Hershey.
Hershey Lodge.
So you're back in regular session.
Yes, thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Baxter. Gentlemen, I'd like to ask for a motion for the recommendation of increasing our part-time computer analyst hours from 24 hours to 32 hours at a salary of $32.33 per hour.
So moved.
Moving second. All in favor say aye. Opposed no. The ayes have it. So,
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I have nothing else.
okay, Ms. Sullivan, engineer.
Thank you. First item is the alternate source of water. We did have a design conference. We met with DEP engineers, and filled them in a little bit on the plant. This was on the December 17th that we met down at the Neville Island Water Treatment Plant. So we did break the ice with them, and we'll be in contact with them over the next several months as far as permitting goes. But that was the first preliminary conference that we had with the DEP regulators. At the treatment plant site, we have the borings, the soil borings are going to be scheduled, probably take place in 2 weeks. So we'll get the soil information, the rock information that we can then submit to our structural engineers for the design of the foundations.
Who's going to lay that out, Randy?
Our surveyors will lay out we'll actually do the stakeouts for the borings, and then we'll have KU Resources is the engineer the geotechnical engineering firm we use. Bill Messer, who longtime engineer that we've used that the authority has used in the past, sold his business to KU Resources, and he continues to work on a part-time basis, but we're using KU Resources now to do that work. They'll probably use a drilling company, Terra Testing, that Bill Messer had always used in the past as well. We also are going to be having a meeting. Hopefully we're trying to get it set up for like the first week in February, more or less, with Mr. Dinkle and our structural and architectural consultants, so we can go over some design issues. The other item is the Bellevue Booster Station. Station is working well. There have been a few punch list items that aren't yet completed. We do have if you remember, we have a 30-inch by 16-inch reducing elbow on one of the pumps that had to be temporarily repaired. A new elbow has now been delivered, and we're scheduled for, I think, the second week of February to have that elbow replaced at the expense of the pipe company that supplied it. When we do have that elbow off, we're going to examine the check valves. We're going to have the supplier of the check valves there. We detected some leakage through that check valve when the check valve is supposed to be holding. We're going to try to determine why that's happening, and I'll be able to report back to the authority at next month's meeting. We do have some other punch list items with the suppliers of the VFDs and the switchgear that we're trying to get finalized. But overall, the station is working well. It's doing what it was supposed to do, being able to control the speed and minimize.
Saving money.
Well, I was going to get to that one. That was going to be my bottom line. Reducing the surges and so forth on operation, and as Mr. Dinkle so eloquently put, saving money. So that's the end of my report, other than I do appreciate being reappointed for another year. It means a lot to me and my company, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so that's your report.
I thank you for being reappointed, and I have no report.
You must have heard us talk. Miscellaneous, approval of vouchers.
So moved.
Second.
Moving, second, all in favor say aye, opposed no, the ayes have it, so I'll take a motion to adjourn.
No, wastewater department board meeting.
Yeah, that's this,
We have to adjourn the water.
Yeah, this meeting.
Always, always.
we just
So
got
moved.
rid of that.
Thank you.
Wastewater report. Meeting called to order. Visitor recognition. Approval of the minutes of the last meeting. Second, all in favor say aye, opposed no, the ayes have it, so ordered. Unfinished business, Barry, you're on the sewer.
Thank you, Tom. I do have the final agreement from Mr. Baxter for Gertie's Run. I'm in the process of reading it one last time, and we'll be contacting Mr. Bill Youngblood to deliver the agreement in person, so he can take it to the solicitor and Sharon, and hopefully they agree with the numbers that are in there for the change in the flows. We haven't heard anything, gentlemen, on the third application grant that we submitted to Allegheny County. We submitted this in November. As of my conversation with the engineer today, we've had no word. And the last item I have for the wastewater department is the interest payment for the 2007 bond issue is due on February 1st in the amount of $150,916.88.
Nothing under miscellaneous,
No, sir, nothing under miscellaneous.
approval of vouchers. Moved and second,
Second.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, so ordered. This meeting is adjourned.
They didn't violate my First Amendment rights, and they didn't violate my Fourth Amendment right. They didn't ask me who I was, except that woman there. That woman, she's not there now. I'm just gonna take a picture of the carpet. Yeah, I'm gonna show.